Hi guys, welcome back to TOEFL with Juva. Today we talk about 3 question types that can appear in TOEFL reading, and I show you strategies how to solve them. By the way, if you want to get more tips for the TOEFL and download templates, subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the next video. Let's get started. We are now going to have a look at 3 question types. First, we have a look at detailed questions. After that, we talk about not exact questions. And in the end, we have a look at vocabulary questions. Let's start with detailed questions. What do detailed questions look like? Let's have a look at 2 examples. According to the passage, A is. A means something. Or what does the author say about? And then it goes on. Detailed questions ask you about a key fact in the passage. You have several answers and you need to figure out which of these answers is the correct one. So usually the correct answer is paraphrased. This means that you cannot find the exact same words that are stated in the answer in the passage. So the answer uses different words to express the same thing that you can find in the passage. Let's have a look at the strategy. It's very important that you know that the correct answer may be paraphrased, because this means that you know that you cannot just go to the passage and try to find the exact same words that are given in the answer. What you need to do is you need to understand the meaning of the answer. This means that you have to read every answer very closely. And then you have to understand the meaning of every answer. And once you have done that, you go back to the text and you figure out whether you can find this detail that the answer gives you in the text. If the answer gives you a detail and you cannot find it in the text, the answer is wrong. If you can find this detail in the passage, the answer is correct. When you are answering a detailed question, you have to pay attention, because usually there are traps in the answers. For example, sometimes wrong answers contain exactly the same words that you can find in the passage. Sometimes these answers change the meaning in some way, and then they are wrong. And this is a trap, because ETS wants to check whether you understand, okay, in the answer they use the exact same words that are given in the passage, but the answer is wrong because it has a different meaning. So this means, guys, just because an answer uses the same words that you can find in the passage does not automatically mean that this answer is correct. So you need to pay a lot of attention when answering detailed questions. Read the answers very closely, understand the meaning, and then go back to the passage and check whether you can find this meaning in the text. Let's go on with question type number 2. Not exact questions. What do not exact questions look like? Let's have a look at an example. For example, these questions can look like this. Which of the following is not mentioned as a feature of something? Or each of the following is mentioned as a feature of something except. Of course, these questions can also be formulated in different ways. However, you will always recognize them easily, because usually the not or except is written in capital letters. So what do you have to do if you get a not except question? You have to figure out the answer that is not true or that is not mentioned in the passage. Let's have a look at the strategy that you can use to solve such questions. The strategy is the same that you use in detailed questions. Actually, it's just the other way around. You first have to understand the meaning of every answer. Once you understand the meaning, you go back to the passage and you check. Have a look at every answer and check whether this answer appears in the passage. If the answer appears in the passage, it's wrong. You don't choose it. You go on and you check the next answer. And you do this for every answer. And this way you can eliminate the wrong answers, because these are the answers that you found in the passage, and then you know which one is the correct answer. Let's go on with question type number 3. Vocabulary questions. There are 2 types of vocabulary questions. Let's have a look at the first type. The first type asks you about the meaning of a word. So the question will ask you, what does this word mean? Let's have a look at an example. For example, a question could look like this. The word merely is closest in meaning to solely, only, necessarily, or reluctantly. So the question asks you about the meaning of a word, and it gives you several answers, and you have to figure out what this word means. In our example, only is correct. Merely means the same as only. Now let's have a look at the second question type. This type asks you, what does this word refer to? So, for example, there may be this sentence in the passage. I called my friend that loves coffee. And the question may look like this. The word that in the passage refers to. And then you are given several answers and you have to choose the correct answer. So in our example, this is quite easy. The word that refers to my friend. It's my friend that loves coffee. Now you know the 2 question types that you can get when you have to solve a vocabulary question. But what's the strategy that you can use to solve these questions? So let's first have a look at question type number 1. This is the question that asks you about the meaning of a word. There are 2 ways things can go. Either this question is very easy for you or it's difficult. The question is very easy for you if you know what the word means. Then you just choose the correct answer. The question is difficult if you have absolutely no idea what this word means. However, this does not mean that you cannot solve this question. What you need to do if you have absolutely no idea what this word means is the following. First, you go to the passage and you read the sentence where this word appears. It's very important that you understand the context in which this word appears. Sometimes you also have to read a sentence or 2 sentences before the sentence where the word appears in order to understand the context properly. And after that, you go back to the answers and you have a look at each answer and you take each answer and in your head you replace the word in the passage for which you have to find the meaning with one of the answers. So you take the answer, you replace the word in the passage and you ask yourself, does this sentence make sense if I insert this word? If it doesn't make sense, the answer is wrong and you go on. And you do that for every word. And usually you should be able to figure out the meaning of this word, although you had absolutely no idea what this word means in the beginning, because you can derive the meaning from the context. Of course, sometimes these questions can be really tricky. So it may be that you're still unsure which answer is the correct one after you checked each answer. In this case, guys, go with your gut. trust your intuition and choose an answer. In TOEFL reading, you don't get penalty points. So this means that you should definitely choose an answer because there is always the chance that this answer is correct. Let's have a look at the strategy you can use for Type 2. Remember that Type 2 was the question that asks you the word that or which or whatever refers to. So if you get such a question, you have a look at each answer, you go back to the passage and you ask yourself, okay, if this word refers to this word, does this make sense? And you do that with every answer. And usually you should be able to figure out which word the word that or which or whatever refers to, because you can derive this from the context. Again, if you are unsure, choose any answer because you don't get penalty points in TOEFL reading. Take this chance, go with your gut and choose an answer that you find plausible. That's it. These are 3 question types that can appear in TOEFL reading. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you want to have more videos about TOEFL reading, tell me about that in the comments below. And if you want to get more tips for the TOEFL and download templates, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss the next video. I'd love to see you here next time. Bye bye!